back to another episode of Whatever She Wants podcast. Today we have Sean, and we are doing kind of a cool episode on arguably like a little bit of a taboo topic that a lot of people we've posted on like our socials are like really interested in. So I'm really excited to kind of get into this. But you have been or are currently in a polyamorous relationship?
I was for 2 years, like a year ago.
And like Miles probably has a lot of followers who don't know what polyamory is or can't spell it because Miles can't actually even pronounce it. So just like tell us like what that kind of relationship entails.
Yeah, so like I was in a relationship with my wife and we had another girl as well.
Okay.
So like it was cool. Like it starts off cool anyway. Because like when you think about it, you're like, oh, you're just having a lot of sex. And it's like, yeah. But then it's like you're also in a relationship. So then there's still other things involved like, yo, who's washing the dishes? Like
yeah.
like,
okay, let me stop you for 1 second. Okay, so did you guys all live together?
Yes.
Okay.
Like it started off as like she would come over and like we would just do things. Like we would go to like the state fair and like we would like she had a son, I have twins, so like our kids are intertwined. They're hanging out together.
This
They're
is a
having
whole
fun.
family.
This is a family. Yeah.
Oh shoot! Did she have full custody of a kid?
No, her and dad. They had like Sunday through Wednesday. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's actually kind of cool. So it's like a legit blended family.
Oh yeah.
And you and your wife and her. Okay. Were your wife and the girlfriend, what do you want us to call her?
Yeah, we call her girlfriend.
Okay, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, were they in like their own separate relationship? Did they have like an emotional relationship, just the two of them?
Oh yeah, like theirs was probably deeper than like mine with like them. Oh yeah.
So are they bi?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I guess, right?
I mean, I didn't learn that about my wife until like we were 10 years in.
Yeah.
Which is another thing, like being in like a long-term relationship and then adding someone. Like,
yeah.
How did that come about, though?
Sean's a shitbag. No, but for real, like, it's really funny. It's not funny at all. All right, so.
Is it funny now?
It's funny now.
Okay.
Like now when I think about it, I'm like, dude, like, yeah, like I'm a piece of shit. But back to like the cheating episodes. But no, like I had just gotten promoted. I was at Amazon, so I just got promoted, and I was taking that girl's position.
Okay.
Because she had gotten promoted too, so like she was training me. They'd be like exchange numbers, like blah blah blah.
Oh.
And what happened? I was working overnight, so like I came home later than normal.
Okay.
Earlier, I normally come home at like 5 in the morning. But I got home at like 6.
Okay.
And like we're just like in the parking lot, like talking, like legit, like we're just talking. But then like my wife thought it was weird, so she went through my phone and saw like our text exchange.
Oh, you never go through the phone.
And then she did the whole like she said something like "good night" heart emoji, and I said like, "all right, yeah, like good night," different color heart emoji.
Right.
And like I remember falling asleep and I woke up, but like that text was gone. I was like, "That's
it
weird."
was gone.
It was gone. I was like, "That's weird." And then like
she read it and then deleted it.
Yeah, and then like she like I went through Instagram and she wasn't on my Instagram anymore either, and I was like,
yo, mad props.
So then like I'm like I'm waking up and I'm like, hold up, like did I dream that? Was that the most lucid dream I've ever had? Like, and my wife she confronted me about it like hours later because she had already gone to work by the time I had woken up.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, and then of course she confronted me, but then she went through the girl's Instagram and she's like, she's really pretty, and I'm like, yeah, like she's all right. You know,
wait. Was the confrontation like when she confronted you? Was it an aggressive confrontation or was it like what was that about?
It was like what is that about? Like it wasn't like aggressive, but like it was the heart because it was like an innocent text exchange, but there was heart emojis.
Yeah.
And then that's what kind of like there was something else there.
Like this could not have gone better for you. Your wife is like, okay, you like low key maybe textually cheated on me. Yeah. But this girl's really pretty. Let's talk.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Okay, and then what did she say? She was like, I would like to propose something?
No, and then, like, me and the girl, like, since we were still working together at the time, like...
Hey, can I have your number again?
Yeah. So, like, we started, like, talking a little bit.
My wife deleted our text.
Yeah, for real.
Sorry.
And then, like, they started, like, talking.
Okay.
But, like, it wasn't aggressive. They just, like, all of a sudden becoming friends. And I remember the girl, she was, like, driving home from, like, Florida because that's where she's from. So then she was, like, driving back to VA. And, like, she was on the phone with my wife the whole time. Like, my wife is keeping her awake while she's driving back home. Like,
Sean, I don't know how to tell you that this could not have gone better for you.
Yeah. Like, for the first, like, 8 months, it was like, I was in heaven.
So, have you ever thought about being in this polyamorous relationship previously to this ever happening.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Like, it's one of those things where I've done bad things. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But
Some
that was
indiscretions.
that was just me being a shitbag. Like, that was me cheating.
And it worked out in your favor.
This one did, yeah.
Had your wife ever been in a polyamorous relationship?
Nope.
Okay. Had
We've
she
been
ever been
together
in a
for 14
relationship
years.
with a woman prior to this?
Not a relationship. Hookup, yes.
Okay.
Relationship, no.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No.
Okay.
I didn't know that until like this.
Okay. And so then you guys have this conversation. She becomes really good friends with this girl. And what's like the first encounter where you guys are all like, we could all be intimate? Like, how did that evolve?
You're probably like sweating bullets too.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, oh, she's talking. Hold on, what's going on? Like, is she planning to kill me?
I'm like,
yeah.
no.
How do I get Viagra
Like,
from
our
England?
first time, like, everyone hanging out, it was like a family affair. Like, it was me, her, like, it was my wife, girlfriend, and all of our kids. So, like, we had 3 kids combined.
Yeah.
And we're at the state fair, like, we're having a good time. Like, everything is cool. Then by the time we come back to the house, put the kids to bed, it's like, then the alcohol comes out.
Okay. So there was some liquid courage to get things going.
Then once that came out, it was over after that.
Okay.
I'd probably be bricked up the whole time. Like, I wouldn't
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, what's about to happen? I'd be at the state fair holding the teddy bear in front of me, thinking about what's about to happen later.
Yeah, for real. Like, that was one of those moments I was just like.
Okay, but do you feel like this was entirely sexual for you, or did you really did you get feelings for this girlfriend?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, there was like a lot of feelings involved. Like, you know, months later, like, I love you start getting exchanged, and like, cause we're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah.
Do you have to tell your wife that you're about to tell her that you love her?
Yeah, how did you guys establish boundaries?
Actually, that was part of the downfall.
Okay.
It was like the boundaries got so grayed,
Yeah.
and then like jealousy obviously comes in. So yeah, like that's when it was
Okay.
rough.
Who got jealous of who first?
I think the girlfriend got jealous of me and the wife.
No way.
Yeah, because I think the girlfriend's like her like ulterior motive is to have me by herself at some point.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the side joint, and then they're like, oh, yes, and then they're like, no, I thought you actually loved me.
Yeah.
Had the girlfriend ever been in a throuple?
Nope.
Okay, so this is
Like,
everybody's
first
first time
threesome.
navigating this.
Yeah.
Okay. And she thought she could come in and make a throuple a double.
Yep. Literally.
That's crazy. Hold on, that's a lot to.
Are you and your wife still together?
We are actually.
Okay, dang.
So look, we've had our moments like
yeah.
to a point where divorce papers were drawn up and like we just like worked through it. But like, yeah.
That's fire. But are the arguments still like, well, you did this with your girlfriend and blah blah blah? Like,
No, not like that.
like those don't ever come out like now.
No, like it's weird. I mean, she still throws back like shit from the past, but it's never with her.
Really?
Yeah. Outside, there was
Because
one.
she was consensually a part.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not. Yeah. How could you throw that in somebody's face? It wasn't like cheating. Like, you were all a part of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the phone has been gone through at the beginning. Is the phone consistently gone through now? I mean, I don't know if you feel like sharing that, but
I don't think so. I don't think she has my password now.
Yeah.
Your password be
No,
changed? You imagine waking up, your password's changed on your own phone, your background picture's changed because she deleted
unfollowed
and
people
unfollowed.
on Instagram.
Shout out to y'all though. I think
I
actually
think you met my wife before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sean's going back to like a prepaid like flip phone after this.
Right?
Start getting burner phones and stuff. I don't do that stuff anymore.
Okay, so
Good.
so here's the question, because I think a lot of people would argue that you can't be in love with 2 people at the same time. You believe otherwise.
I do now because not at that moment, but now I'm like, they both brought something different to the table.
Okay.
My wife is that like boss babe. She works in a male-dominated field, so like she's that more aggressive, like assertive. But the girlfriend's like soft and gentle and kind. So like together, it's the perfect person. So like if I'm having a bad day, I'm not coming home to a combative wife. Like she's the one who's like the girlfriend like sit on my lap and like rub the back of my head and like be that person when I needed that person.
Okay.
And does your wife, when your girlfriend is rubbing the back of your head, what is your wife doing? Is she like is she like getting turned on, or is she like? So did your wife never got jealous?
I don't think so. Honestly, like she's probably the least jealous person.
She also had been with you for 10 years at this
Yeah.
point. She was like, rub his head, like.
She's,
me a
or she's like, I'm not gonna do that shit like you do.
Exactly, like
you
yeah.
know, like she's like, all right, cool, I can go.
She's
do
like,
something
sit
else.
on his lap. I have like some laundry to do. Like
Yeah,
from
for
a wife perspective, I'm like, go bananas.
Yeah, and plus, like, me and my wife already
that man's
built
feet
our, like,
stink.
life, so
Yeah.
All right. Here's a personal, like, all of this is very personal.
Oh, yeah. My wife texted me right before I came here because he came to the gym right before I left, and she was like, tell everything. She's like, oh, yeah, it's like, this will be fun. I'm like, oh, cool.
All right, perfect.
I love that.
What was it like introducing your daughters or telling your daughters that you're in this poly relationship?
With my kids, at the time, I think they're like 8 because I have twins. So, like, you know, I think they're like 7 or 8. Yeah. So with them, they just had like a little playmate now because their son was 2. So they're like playing big sister and they're like, so they're having fun. I don't think at that age they grasped the concept of what was going on.
Sure. How did they like refer to the girlfriend, or what was the dynamic with her? Was she just like a fun aunt to have in the house?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think you're like, will you ever explain this to your daughters when you think they are aware, or are they aware now?
No, I want to explain the dynamic to them.
Yeah.
Did they ever ask her where she went?
Sometimes they'll say they miss her son, but yeah.
But they don't miss her.
Right.
And you don't think your wife will be like, oh yeah, like, and tell them? Because I mean,
she might.
Yeah, because it's like they have that girl relationship, and then it's like when they're older and they're, you know, going through their own relationships, and then it's like, oh yeah, well, me and your dad, like, blah 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 blah. I mean, how do you feel about that though? Like, are you like, you don't want them to know? Are you like, yeah, like, how do you feel about that overall?
I would say like they can know, but at the same time, it's like trying not to put yourself in that situation, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not like actively putting yourself in a bad situation, but like if it's avoidable, then like.
So you wouldn't recommend or advise them to be in a throuple? I know you don't want to think about that with your kids, but okay. So like,
no, I'm saying in general, like no.
No,
I
you think it was too complicated?
What happens if one of your daughters comes home and your daughter is in the throuple, and like, how does that make you feel? Like, do you have any initial like, oh my, that makes me mad? Or are you like, nah, you know, she doing what she's gonna do? I mean, I know she's not at that age where you're really feeling that yet, but
it's like, what's the dynamic of the throuple? Is it 2 dudes and a girl? Is it 2 dudes and my kid, or is it like 2 girls or it's like a girl and a guy and my kid? Like that would be.
That's also just really hard to think about with
your children. Oh, absolutely.
Like
100%.
I don't think I could think about that, but
I've thought about everything possible before I even had a kid. I'm like that. I'm weird.
Okay. Segue from that. If your wife wanted to do this again, would you do it?
I would now because I know my place now.
Okay.
So like,
what would you do differently?
I wouldn't. I guess I would use the term. I have like a more controlling like male system, like ecosystem with me. So I would like once they're like out doing their thing, that's when I would back off. I'm not texting anybody. I'm not like. I would just like back off and like do your thing.
So were you jealous any?
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. And I think that had a lot to do with me competing too, because I was always doing bodybuilding shows, always sauced up, and I was like, so my hormones like through the roof.
We talked about this last week.
Yeah, I was just saying MPP made me bricked up all the time.
Oh yeah, like because I did NPC nationals, and like once you add the trenbolone sandwiches, that's when things get rough.
Yeah, I've never done that, but yeah, that's why. That's more like where I feel like roid rage comes from.
Yeah, for real.
Like when people talk about roid rage, I think it's like
that's where it's coming from.
It's like trend. It's not just testosterone. Well, trend's like isn't it a horse steroid? Isn't it? Yeah.
Y'all are.
Oh no, I don't do trend. Hey, shout out to you and shout out to all my homies that do it. That mess, I'll never. I
haven't touched that since 2021.
So you're saying like you would have more boundaries about when they're out together and like you're texting them. Was that were you like texting your wife and then the girlfriend was like, "How come you're texting her and not me?" Is that kind of what happened?
That did happen a lot.
That's
like,
so
and
hard.
Then it becomes a like for me it was a fear of missing out. Like I was just like, damn,
you're
like they're out doing shit. Like I'm sitting here at work. So because I was working overnight, they both were. Once the girl got her like new position, then she was working during the day also. So they were both working during the day. Then they had all nights together. And then I would come in at like 4:35 in the morning, and then like by that time, wife's about to get up, go to work, and then she leaves like 2 or 3 hours later. Yeah. And then I'm by myself again.
Were y'all ever like, all right, y'all are in an argument, right? And you and your wife are teaming up on your girlfriend, or you and your girlfriend teaming up on your wife?
It was mainly them two teaming up on me.
That's crazy.
This is actually sounding better, like more appealing.
What, polyamorous?
Polyamorous.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I got like a cool like best friend to hook up with, to gang up on my husband with, and like do like I don't know.
Yeah.
Your wife kind of got like the sweet end of that deal.
She did. Like
the girlfriend not so much, and you not so much.
But they got to do like what's your example of a date night? This is kind of weird, but what's your example of like a normal date night?
For a heterosexual couple, for
or
male and female,
just you and one other person, you're going out on a date night.
Like dinner.
Okay, me too.
Dinner and drinks.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, so I remember very specifically, it was their date night. I'm at home, I'm watching the kids, I'm washing dishes. Like, they come back and they're like, "Oh, like we got new tattoos," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like, all right, but then like, my wife, she had when we first got together. She knew I hated it. She had a tongue ring, and then she went and got her tongue re-pierced. And I was
with
like,
the girlfriend.
And she knew I just hate tongue piercings. Not sure why. I just don't like it. She was like, and then come to find out the girlfriend got her nipples pierced. And I was
doing
like
really bonding.
And I was like
activities.
And I'm like trying to go to like a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all are getting like tattoos together and getting like shit pierced, and I'm just like, so for me, I was so mad that night, like, because I was like, I wasn't even like included in the conversation. Yeah. Like, it wasn't like a, hey, we're thinking about doing this. Like, what do you think? Yeah. It was just like a, by the way, like, cling, cling, cling.
Yeah. So.
They had like a deep-rooted friendship.
That's why I said their bond was so much deeper than.
And you were just there for like the dick.
So did they break up or did y'all break up? Because that's
yeah.
I think because of the jealousy, the girls broke up first, and that was like part on my end because I think my wife had such a stronger bond with her, and like so like and once they separated, then that's when things just got really rocky.
And and the girlfriend tried to pull you with her.
Yes. So then my wife would have been like alone. Like, she loses two people she, like, cares about, like, 100%.
But, okay, you love this girlfriend, well, your ex. How come, I mean, how come you didn't go with the girlfriend instead of the wife?
It's a great question.
That decision was made, like, a year and a half in. Because I always chose my wife first for everything. And that was always a fight. Because the girlfriend's like, you always choose her. I'm just here. I'm on the back burner. Blah blah blah. Like,
but so that's your wife.
And that's what I would. And I used that phrase once. I was like, yeah, she's my wife.
That's the mother of my children.
Yeah, that's why I rarely call my wife because of that. Like, she got so mad when I would say that because it like pulled her down.
There's like a hierarchy there, like.
And that's the way I felt. I was like, my wife always comes first. She's the mother of my kids. Like, we bought a house together. Like, we have kids together, dogs together. Like, like. It's my wife. Like, we've been doing this for almost 15 years.
Girlfriend knows she can never really compete with that.
And I think that's like where like the downfall like also it was like treading downhill.
Yeah.
But then at one point, me and the girlfriend, we did make that decision. Like, you know what? Like, we'll be together. I'll start saving up for like an apartment. Like, we made that decision too. But then girlfriend started doing shady shit. And then
like what? We gotta know. You can't. Yeah.
Oh, like sleeping with like coworkers because it got to a point like boundaries. Where, like, she was mad if I slept with my wife. Like, she was mad if we, like, had sex. Like, she would be mad about that.
Yikes.
But then, like, her whole thing is, I'm going to reciprocate. But I'm like, we're in the same house together. Like, you do it too. Like, yeah. But then she started sleeping with her coworkers.
She went outside.
And so she went outside of it. And I'm like, that's when you start bringing, like, shit inside the house. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, STD, like, I mean.
Exactly. So I'm like, yeah, that's when, like.
What's the trust like, though? Like, what's the trust like? All right, so. You technically stepped out in a way to talk to this girl, and then they have a relationship, but she's also stepping out. So is there any sort of like level of trust in there? Because I'm not gonna lie, if Sam did that once or anything like that, I would just be like, I can't trust her anymore, and I would just feel maybe insecure. Maybe I don't know if that's the right word about. Oh, what is she doing now? Like, now that I kind of green light this whole situation, what is she going to be doing, like, behind my back now that she feels comfortable, like it's a go? You know what I'm saying?
Like, now that you've given everybody the okay to kind of step outside, do you think that your wife would do that?
I don't think she would. I knew, and I actually recently found, like, this out. It's not a big deal now. But even, like, when me and the girlfriend made that decision that we're going to, like, move out together, like, my wife, like, downloaded, like, Bumble and, like, stuff like that. Yeah. But at this point, I think
your wife sounds mad fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you can have her next.
Okay.
She'll rip me apart.
Is it a rod or like I kind of forgot what I was about to say. What was I gonna say? My brain's been doing that.
You got distracted with that latte art.
Latte. No, like, what was I gonna say? I don't know. Do you have any more questions? I completely forgot. I don't know why my brain's doing this today.
Okay, so you would consider doing this again now that you have the boundaries in place.
I think so, because I know my part, and I know what the type of woman my wife is. Like with that other like girl, she's gonna need her like time and space.
When you guys were in it, like you were scheduling date. Okay, you said they had their date night, the girls. You had a date night with the girlfriend, and then you had a date night with your wife.
Yes.
And that all
that's expensive.
Like, dog, that was another thing, bro. I was
He's like,
broke,
no, seriously.
bro. Like, I ended up getting a second job, but that just pulled more time away. So I'm already working overnight, and I got like a little day job.
And you're already having FOMO.
Yeah.
Are you kissing the girlfriend in front of your kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So my kids, for them at that age, they thought it was normal.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Do you think that?
No, hold on, back up, back to the expensive part. I mean, that's legit. You're having like,
oh yeah,
you're dating 2 women.
Yes, and like even like our first Christmas together.
Oh my god!
I dropped bands, bro.
Christmas.
But you got double presents too, right?
Like
and they had to. Everyone had to spend though, right? Well, besides on date nights.
Yeah, and like me and my wife would like get together. Like, I remember the first one. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna get her like an Apple Watch, and she's like, I'll get her AirPods, and I'm at the jewelry store. I'm like, all right, well, I got her like earrings. I'm gonna get her earrings too, and then I got her a necklace. So I'm gonna get her a bracelet, and like.
This is something I didn't even think about.
Oh yeah.
This is something I didn't even think about. That is.
Oh yeah.
Wild.
It was so expensive. Absolutely.
I don't know.
Or even day to day, like, oh, I'm getting my wife coffee. Nope, you're getting 2 coffees. Like.
Yeah.
Do you think it's morally right though? I mean, obviously
if
you do.
Everyone is agreeant. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
but
cheating.
I think a lot of people are in poly relationships. Just one person doesn't know.
Oh, I think I've been in a poly relationship
Isn't
that I
just
didn't know
cheating,
about.
though?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
Isn't that just an affair?
But that's when like the side person knows their place, and they know you're in a relationship, and they have.
That's what you're saying.
And you have your scheduled like time, but someone doesn't know.
You're like, instead of an affair where maybe the guy has stepped out on his wife and is having an affair with a coworker, but he doesn't know that, or she doesn't know that he's married. That would be one type of affair. Another, what he's talking about is like 2 people know and are consenting to this being a throuple, but then there's a third person that doesn't know somebody.
There's a third person that doesn't know.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
There's someone that doesn't know like what they're lacking. Someone else is providing something else.
But you're saying if all 3 consenting adults are down for this, it's like you're morally okay with it.
Yeah, and like the first like 6 months was fun because like we were going to Busch Gardens and like we're all 3 of us are like holding hands and like we're kissing and then they're kissing and then we're kissing and like people are looking at us all crazy.
Are you footing the bill for everyone?
Oh no! Like my wife went and got Busch Gardens like season passes for
I was
everybody.
Like, damn.
But we made sure like she didn't pay for like the girlfriend didn't pay for a lot.
Yeah.
Like she offered, like she definitely offered.
Yeah.
But like for me being the man, I'm like, nah, like I got it, we're good.
Yeah.
And then, but with my wife being a more like dominant person too, like I would use her masculine, but more masculine. It's like she would also take care of their stuff.
Right.
So yeah, and the girlfriend like paid her own bills and stuff, but. Yeah, but what almost got crazy was like the girlfriend really wanted a baby.
Okay, so this was one of my questions.
Oh,
like what would have happened if
my wife said that would have like that's when she would have like that's the line she was drawing.
That was a boundary. Yeah, you cannot have children with somebody else.
I'm infertile, so it doesn't matter. And I didn't find that out until I was splashing. Thank you, Miles, for that phrase. Well, like
splash. Vocab.
I was splashing so much.
Oh my gosh.
And no babies happened, so I was like.
Do you want more kids though?
No, I'm good with my 2. Okay. I'm getting old. I'll be 35 in January.
That's pretty young.
You don't want a boy?
I did, and then like.
But you're like.
But and that was another thing too. Is like with her having a son, it was like, oh, cool, like.
You got your boy.
Yeah, like he was there.
What's that attention like to your daughters when you have them and you have to give them attention? Your girlfriend and wife, like, do you think it was just fine because everyone was just chilling, like? You know, because you have to entertain. You said date night. Do you feel like there was any neglect is such an aggressive word, but any sort of attention taken away from the kids?
No, not in like the household setting. But what would happen sometimes is like if girlfriend went to like Target and bought her son a toy, then my kids would be like, "Why didn't I get a new toy?"
Yeah, like you fucking live in this house. Where's my toy?
So then like little things like that, but nothing emotionally. You're like overly stimulated.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, girlfriend's coming downstairs, like, grabbing them, like, hugging them. And then, like, wife is there, like, hugging them. And I'm there, like, we're all playing, like.
For what it's worth, like, it's a third adult that's showing them love.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, I respect you. And I just want to ask this because I just, you know, I'm the bad guy.
Let's do it.
How do you feel about your daughters? I know they don't know, right?
Yeah.
But.
Miles is really harping on this.
I mean, like, I'm just like thinking about like how would I feel if I had a daughter, and they see this as like arguably not normal because it's not happened for a while but you said you would do it again, and I don't know. I mean, you would be okay with the idea of your daughters being in a throuple or poly relationship. Is there any exclusions where you're gonna be like, no, you shouldn't do this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
wouldn't like immediately be okay if they're like 17 is like, hey, this is Brad and this is Stephanie, like we're on a relationship together. I'm like,
but why wouldn't you be immediately okay?
I think at their age, I think once if they're 25 and they pull it to my attention, I'm just like, I did it when I was your age too.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, like these are like the flags to watch out for on when it's going down, like when the ship is sinking.
But you're supportive of it.
Yes, I would be supportive of it, but at the same time, I don't think it's something that's just going to like happen when they're in high school or like when they're like first year in college or something.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know that you can make that kind of, I don't want to say decision, but I don't know that you could emotionally be, it doesn't sound like even y'all at like 30 were able to figure out boundaries and communication and trust. So I've never been in a poly relationship, but I imagine if my son came to me and say that, I'd be like, I don't know that you have the capabilities to navigate a throuple right now.
Do you think one can work long term? And do you think, this is a double question, but do you think that if it was long term, it would work better if y'all were all fresh? Like you weren't with your wife for 15 years and she's new to this. Do you think it would work better? How do you think it would work successfully long term?
I think once boundaries are established, like from the beginning, like what it is. That's why like when everyone had their day, everyone had their date night, everyone had like, that's when things were like the best.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like the jealousy thing. I got jealous like over like some dates because they were so like elaborate.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, damn, like why did I not think about that?
Yeah.
Like for me, it's always like movies, dinner, like maybe go bowling or something.
Right.
Like something simple. But then I'm like, damn, they're getting tattoos and piercings together. Like,
Were you scared they were gonna leave you?
No, not at all.
You were just missing out.
Yeah, I was missing out.
And like they're kind of just like way more heavily bonded. Like,
I mean, they're girls.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of. Like they had like a best friend situation.
And even now, my wife still like misses like her friendship.
Yeah.
She's like, shit, like she misses the friendship.
I bet that's somebody that you're.
Because my wife's mom died in the middle of it too.
Oh.
So like then you have like a like significant death on top of that, and then like they were together. Me and my wife were fighting at the time. Like I was there, but like she wanted the girlfriend. She wanted her there, like her friend.
So what if your wife's like, I want another guy?
Nope. Like, and that's, for me, that's just like clear cut. I'm such a like territorial person, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would just be like, for me, it's a hard no.
Yeah. Do you think that's, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Do you think that's unfair?
Yes. But it was weird because like, that makes me think of like, if like alpha males actually exist. Like for me to like doing this, like two alphas couldn't be in that same situation. Like two guys that are like masculine, dominant, like men. I don't think you can't put them in the same house with one girl.
And you don't like men, so she likes women. So I guess that like, that's fair.
And plus, it'd be one of those things where we're like chilling playing 2K, and like she calls like one of us upstairs. It's like
okay. And also, it sounds like you said it in the beginning. Your wife had a certain personality, the girlfriend had a certain personality, and they were very polar.
Yes.
You aren't gonna like. You can't be with somebody that's like you. Like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just said like 400. Drink every time I say like, but I think that would be really hard.
Are you going to be in a poly relationship?
I hear what you're saying about the alpha male thing.
So you're interested in a poly relationship?
I can barely handle the uni relationship that
Fair.
I just see where like all of you just have to be so trusting. You would have to be very communicative. And I don't know that I could enter into a relationship with two people that had established a relationship and a marriage for 10 years. I think I would be always questioning my position, always.
She was.
Yeah. And if I were the wife of 10 years, I think I would wonder if I was going to get left for the new girlfriend, the new pretty model. Which I don't know if your wife felt that way, but that's just my yeah.
I don't think she felt that way, but she felt it coming.
And so how did you guys you said divorce papers were drawn up. Like, how did you guys get from there back to where you are now? How'd y'all resolve this?
I think just communication over time. Like, more boundaries being established. Like, I see more freedom being given. But it's not like freedom. We're not, like, going out on dates with different people or anything.
Right.
It's just, like, my wife is a big person. She likes to, like, go and, like, sit and, like, write in a journal. And for me, I'm like, for me, that's weird. Like, just because I'm like, what are you writing? She has, like, 400 notebooks. And so like, it'll be like 9:30 at night, and she's like, I'm gonna go sit at the river and go write my journal. And
I'm
I'm like, awesome. All right, well, my phone's not loud if you need anything, and I'll go to bed.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And you don't think she's cheating?
No.
That's
right.
With
that journal.
So even though you technically stepped out, she trusts you now, or does she ever throw that up?
She doesn't throw out trust now. Whether she trusts me or not, I mean, I don't know. But I'm always like, you know where I am. Like, I'm at the gym. Like, I have no reason to, like, do anything crazy right now.
If you guys were to do another throuple, like, how would you, like, where would you find the third? Have you ever thought about that?
I have no idea.
Would you let your wife take control on that?
Oh, yeah. Because at that point, like, I would know, like, at that point, I'm the third person.
You ever be like, oh, I want to cheat. Can you find me a joint real quick? I mean, seriously, why not? Like, I mean.
No, I just think it would have to be your wife bringing someone in because.
I mean, clearly not.
Well, she did bring him in, like bring her in. Like, she's the one that sought that out. I found
her. She just thought she was pretty too. She
sought it out. I just feel like if you were to bring in another girl, it would be like, what were you were looking for something? Like, I don't know. I'm projecting my own insecurities.
Do you think that guys, because we talked about this last episode, do you think guys are always missing something if they step out, or do you think it's just a guy thing? Is that what overall?
What was missing?
No, do you go? What
was lacking in your relationship that had you?
No. Wait. Do you think that a man can go hook up with a woman, and it's not because he's missing something at home, just because he just wants to hook up with a woman?
I think that's possible, but not most of the time. Sometimes it's unlikely.
Yeah. Because
I know when I did stupid stuff, it was always because of, like, lack of it at home.
Thank you, Sean.
Like if it's for me, like, my threshold is like 5 days. Like, dog, if it's been 5 days, I'm like, all right, like, I get irritable. I'm like, yo, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
My wife's like, I think you're a sex addict. I'm like, no, like, it's not that. It's just been 5 days.
Yeah.
And I don't like watching the hub, so I'm just like,
watching the hub. Yeah, like, I've already watched all the videos on there.
No, I'm on page 6. Like, no.
I'm down to some weird shit. How did you manage all of that sex? I mean, were you having sex with them, like, multiple times a day? Like,
yeah, I remember very specifically, like, it was like a week or two where I would, like, go upstairs, like, take a nap, and then I would have one. Then she would go back downstairs. I would literally take a shower and go take another nap, and then the other would come upstairs. And that would happen for, like, that was, like, every day. Like, I'm talking realistically, probably 15 to 20 times a week.
Were you guys all three having sex together?
Yes. That got less and less frequent as the
Really?
girlfriend got more and more jealous.
Did they ever have sex by themselves?
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I would know because I would be, like, at work sitting at my desk. I'm, like, sitting there, like, texting, and all of a sudden, the text from both would just stop. And I'm just like, all right.
Yeah. Like, I know what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and then there's also times where there's, like, secret sex, too. Where, like,
oh, that sounds like a bad idea.
Oh, yeah. But it was, like, one of those things where, like, one would be downstairs, and, like, me and the girlfriend, or I guess wife would be downstairs, me and the girlfriend, like, hop in the shower real quick. And
why was it secret, though?
I think just because, like, jealousy, or maybe we had something to do. We're supposed to be getting ready to, like, go somewhere, and this is like, let's do a quickie real quick.
That's crazy.
I've even, like, came home from work on my lunch break to, like, sleep with my wife while, like, girls dropping her, like, son off.
So the girlfriend didn't get jealous?
Oh, and that's the thing, baby dad never found out either.
Whoa.
Yeah, baby dad had he would come into the house, dap him up, like, hey, bro. Like,
what did he think was going on? He thought she was just living with some married couple?
Yeah.
That man knew.
Does he know now?
I don't know.
He's not.
I have no idea.
Were they together?
No.
Oh.
No, they had, joint custody type of thing.
I ain't gonna lie.
You would dap this man up after you had just splashed in his baby mama.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Because Oh my gosh!
The disrespect.
I mean, again, I respect.
But though they're not together. The guy has his own girlfriend and stuff, so it's like.
Yeah. Nah, but where I'm throwing the flag up for me personally is that my son is here, and this is going on, and he's seeing this happen.
Well, because he's not seeing the sex.
Like
he's just seeing love.
How old was this? He was younger.
He was 2.
Oh yeah.
So he even has his own room. Like my wife went out and bought a crib and put the crib together, have it in our house. Like he had his own room. Like oh yeah.
Do you think? I don't know. It's like I don't see anything wrong with it, but like I do at the same time. And
what do you see wrong with it?
I guess where I'm at with it is like, I just don't think it's sustainable personally. Neither
did he.
No, I mean,
as it stood, he didn't think it was sustainable.
No, he thinks with boundaries that it could be sustainable.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. I think I disagree just because of the social norm of it, and I think that if it was sustainable, first of all, I think that we as humans, if anything, if we were just who we are as natural humans or animals, then yes, it's sustainable. But the reason why there is single or monogamous is because of the jealousy.
That's true.
So because we've evolved as a species to have like
right. So therefore, I think that somewhere down that line, there's going to be jealousy where it's going to be the downfall, and I just don't know. Maybe if with my son, I'd be a little more okay with it. But I'm not gonna lie, like, and again, I respect it. I'm just speaking, But with a daughter, I would not
draw the line.
And it comes back to like, where is my daughter falling in this, relationship, and how is she being respected and taken care of in this? And I mean, I can't stop her at the end of the day, you know what I mean? But I think that I wouldn't want to model that for her, I don't think.
Okay, but there are so many communities and cultures around the world where this is this is the norm.
Yeah, but it's the norm around the world. But here, when she goes to school and she sees what's going on, I feel like
no, I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying
what's going on
as far as sustainability.
But do you think about that, or you're like, nah, I don't think that's the case?
No, I just didn't think about it. I know, like, one thing was, especially with the social norm thing, I remember when we would all go to the gym together, like, we have to introduce her because they're coming in with us. So I've been a member at the same gym for, 10 years, 15 years. So it's like, oh, this is my friend. And I remember she very specifically got mad about that.
That's hurtful.
Because they know that, like, me and my wife have been together for so long. Right. She got me into the gym. And then she's like, really, just your friend? And I'm just like, I don't know if you wanted it out there like that. Like, if you don't, then just let me know. I'll correct the issue. So it's like, yeah, like she would get mad about that.
But you just by default introduced her as a friend because you felt like you were going to get weird looks from the gym people?
Or like, not from me because I could care less, but like for her. So I was like, yeah, I just introduce you as a friend because of that. Like, like we never talked about it. So like, if you want to be introduced as my girlfriend, yes, I will do that. Like, that's not an issue. But just know, like, once people start whispering and talking, like, you're going to get those looks.
Right? Yeah.
That's low-key why I was like glad that we could do an episode like this, because I feel like it is so like taboo and stigmatized, and people don't realize that this is a lot more.
But do you know anyone else that's in a, like, since you've been in that? I mean, maybe talking to other people, or they're like, oh,
y'all got like a support group or something?
Because I'm sure you probably had some guys be like, oh, dang, I want to do that, because even when I did the poll, the only people that said yes were guys. There was not one woman that said yes.
That's because everyone thinks about the sex part.
Right. Yeah.
They're like, oh, shit, I could have sex with 2 girls every day. It's like, like
they're like threesomes all the time, sex whenever I want it. This couldn't be any better. But realistically, it becomes really messy.
But then you have to like wake up in the morning. It's like, all right, like it's like
their date
text
night. First.
Then like I have to watch 2 kids. Yeah, even though
are y'all sleeping all in the same bed?
We did for a while. Yeah.
That's trash. I need my space.
No,
okay, well you're like.
But I didn't get home. I didn't get home until like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So by the time I'm like coming home, So like by the time I'm coming home,
kind of like a fun sleepover for the 2 girls. Yeah. Every night, like they sleep together, whether it's sexual or not, and then you come home at 5:30. They're getting ready for work.
Did they have the same interests at all in anything?
I don't think so. I think the girlfriend like adapted to whatever interest like whoever she's with presents.
Yeah.
So like for me,
she's
it's
chameleon.
bodybuilding. Yeah. So for me, it's bodybuilding. So therefore, she's like hardcore into fitness, like meal prep, like the whole 9 yards.
That's a big hobby to take on.
Oh yeah. But like for her, it made her look better because she's now getting like super shape.
Yeah.
And then she like understands it. And then like we were going to bodybuilding shows together. Like I introduced her to the athletes I was coaching. Yeah. Like we were like there.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I just don't know why I feel like I'm not okay with it. And I had someone be like, "Oh, it's morally wrong. That's why." Well, I didn't tell them that I felt wrong with it. I didn't speak my either side, but I don't want to know. I don't know if I want to say it's morally wrong. I don't think it's morally wrong because cheating is very subjective. And like people are like, "Oh, it's cheating." But
everybody knows about it.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's cheating. I'm saying
yeah.
like, but people were saying like, "Oh, that's cheating." Like,
sure.
Which I mean, I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't know why I feel like, no, I'm not cool. Like, I'm not cool with that. And you know what though? I don't even think I would like it if Sam was like, "I like girls."
Oh boy, you're gonna have to edit that out.
Is that wrong? Is that to the community?
I don't think so. I mean, because I didn't, like I said, I didn't find out until I was already 10 years deep, and that was just and when my wife was like, "Oh, by the way, like I hooked up with X amount of girls." I'm like, you never told me that.
Did that make you feel any type of way?
At that moment, it did, but then I knew what was about to happen, so I was like, "Give me another drink." Like, all right, like I can get over this right now. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Like, and she's like, "Yeah, I never found it relevant to tell you."
Right.
Do you think?
So I was like, "All right."
Even though she's gonna watch it, do you think you could step out and hook up with a girl if you told your wife about it prior? Like, hey, look, I'm not gonna lie, like, because a lot of guys would be like, oh, if I were honest, you'd be mad, but like, whatever. Do you think that you could be like, hey,
at this juncture in your relationship, could you just look at your wife and be like, we haven't had sex in 2 weeks. Can I please go hook up with this girl?
I think she would probably. She's just like, okay. Like, I honestly think she would just like shrug her shoulders and say, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like after 10 years of marriage, I would be like,
yeah, we've been
go do whatever you want as long as you are coming home to me.
But what if she went and hooked up with a guy?
And that's where I'm so territorial. I would be like, I would be crushed.
Yeah.
Oh, and like she knows that. Like, I like personally, like I hate it just because she has like guys she used to sleep with still on her Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I know like that physical relationship
was
there.
You better go through her phone and unfollow him. Like
Yo, that's another thing. How much security do you have on your phone? Like, hers is crazy. Like,
really?
Apple CarPlay messages don't pop because she said because of how bad I've been, I am forced to trust what she's doing.
Whoa! Have you guys considered marriage therapy?
Yeah,
okay,
she didn't like it because our first few sessions, the therapist crushed her, and then she's like, "Yeah, fuck this."
No way.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's
weird because like I'm the person like now anyway. Like, I won't call it maturity because I've done some stupid shit, but like I'm just like, yeah, like I fucked up right here, I fucked up there, like I did this wrong, I did that wrong, but yeah. And so now it's just like
you would have gotten yours if y'all had kept going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They would have come for you. Yeah. She just didn't stay in long enough for him to get ripped a new one by the therapist.
Okay, you can say that's too personal, but what was she kind of getting ripped about? I don't know if you should say that. I know your wife should say everything.
No, like, I'm trying to think.
Okay. While you're thinking, like immediately when you said her CarPlay like won't pop up because if you've done X, Y, and Z, she feels like you should just have to trust her.
Yeah.
That sounds like unhealthy.
Yeah.
Like the punishment of some sort of like that just. Yeah, I'm not a therapist, but that I would be like, hey, like, don't do that. We need to find some other ways to
even
establish
like
boundaries.
text messages removed to the second screen.
Yeah.
Like the text app, and I was just like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, you know how your passcode pops up, your 6 digits, whatever?
Right.
Hers is alphanumeric. Like, the whole keyboard pops up. And I was just like, dog, I didn't know you could do that.
Well, and you don't think she cheated?
No, I honestly don't think so. I think she hates men at this point.
I don't think she's cheating. I think she's like just trying to establish like just some control, which again, not a therapist, but if I were your therapist, I would be like, we have a few things to address.
But that was another thing. All three of us took therapy like at the same time with different therapists.
Yeah.
So like
Good.
all three of us, like we tried to like mitigate the damage.
Sure.
Like, you tried to make things work as well as possible.
What were the therapists saying about it in general? Like, I know well, actually, I don't know. Therapists don't like disagree with you, right? Like, I mean, not disagree, but they
ask questions. Yeah.
Would they ever be like, "Oh yeah, that's not y'all shouldn't be doing that"?
No, they're not gonna say that.
Like my therapist, he was just like, you might need to make a decision.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, like, it sounds like she's not happy here, and like, you're more happy there. Like maybe you should make a decision.
They're gonna guide you to like make your own decisions and answer your own questions, but there's not a therapist that's gonna be like, "Yo, dog, get out," or "Don't do that."
Yeah.
That's not their job.
That's
I wish
crazy.
they would. I wish they would just make decisions for you.
You wouldn't listen to them. Not just you, but anyone.
Yeah. No, I definitely wouldn't.
Yeah. I don't know. Huh?
I think also if I didn't do like 2 shows during those 2 years, it would have been better too. Being in prep and stuff. So
go ahead.
No, because I think it was like yesterday. I was like going through like deleting videos. My like memory was backing up, and I found a video of all of us I think we're either at a concert or a bar. Just see like the lights and like the girlfriend's like recording us, but like I look so miserable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm dieting.
Yeah, because you all have to be so hungry during prep.
Yeah, and like they're so happy. They're all like close
they're
up
eating.
and smiling and like they're good, and I'm just like waving at the camera, but you can just see like there's nothing there. And I think if I would have like backed off of bodybuilding for those 2 years, and like things would have been better, because like we even traveled and stuff together too. So like we would go to Baltimore, we would go to Florida, we went somewhere else.
But you're taking the blame. So besides like you being jealous on them having a strong, deep-rooted relationship, what are you taking the blame on? Because I mean, from what I'm hearing, it's like the reason why y'all broke up was because she felt inferior and wanted you. So why do you think? Because you were just going through prep, which, yeah, your more levels are like this.
Oh yeah.
But why are you taking the blame? Like, what do you think is wrong?
I feel like I could have handled situations better, because I feel like my insecurities and jealousy created their downfall, which ultimately created the whole thing. Because, happy wife, happy life.
Sure.
Even in the throuple, wife's not happy, it's just like...
Yeah. You think that your insecurities and your FOMO and your feelings kind of put a wedge between them?
Oh, absolutely. Like, it's not even a question.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Shout out to you for admitting that, because a lot of dudes would be like, "Oh, I ain't insecure about that."
And that's the thing, like, hindsight's 20/20.
Like you.
So I would sit there, and I'm like, dog, like, I was really mad they would go to Target every night. I'm like, they're just bored. Like, they're sitting at home, like, three kids.
Yeah.
Like, I would probably go to Target too.
And I'm like, that sounds so fun. You get like a best friend that you're living with a best friend, going to Target, getting tattoos.
So you're interested. Well, there you go, Sean.
I mean, if I had 2 extra adult hands with my children.
Would you do 2 guys?
No, that's too much. That's way too much. But I don't know. Like, I was just to go back really quickly. Like, there's so many cultures that do this.
Yeah.
A lot of it because of that household role. Like, you have a whole blended family. I mean, think
That's
of
true.
like more like
and even
polygamy.
If
they have
the
sister wives.
Point of like, if we ever like combine like finances as a household, like
that's great.
Like, you're looking at over $200K, and like,
yeah,
we could have just bought another house, and like we would have. Yeah, I was like.
And you just have
like, there were so many options.
Like, you have an extra.
You ruined us buying another house.
Yeah, it's like, for real. It's like, damn.
You have somebody to help with like housework, and you and your wife could go on a date night and have a built-in.
Yeah.
I don't want to call her a babysitter. I'm not trying to like dismiss her, but you have somebody that lives in your house that can always take care of the kids. If somebody needs to be picked up early, I mean, I'm thinking of all the like really beneficial parts.
I know
of this.
one day that was rough was Valentine's Day.
That has to suck. Who gets the 14th and who gets the 13th?
Yeah, for real. No, but I think we were all going to go out. Because me and my wife, we've gone to the same restaurant every Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Go to, was it Kabuto's?
Oh,
Japanese steakhouse. So that was the plan.
Like
all
the shrimp
3 of us were going to go to Kabuto's. That's you and her thing.
Oh.
And, yeah, so like then we had to fight that battle too. It was like, you and her used to do this. And like you and her, like, I'm like, yeah, but it's so good.
But it's Valentine's Day. We do this every year.
I get filet and lobster. What are you talking
Did you try to emotionally like work with her on that? Or you're like, well, I ain't gonna lie. I would be like, well, yeah, you joining this. So what are you talking about? All right, well, we go tomorrow. Like, I don't know. I would be like,
it's like, I gotta pay the $400 bill. Like,
yeah,
what are you talking
you're like,
about?
do you want steak and shrimp or not?
Right, like, all right, I'll give you money. You go get cookout.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to a point, her whole thing is she wanted to build like a
new
relationship.
relationship.
Yeah, she wanted to build that. And she's like, I'm gonna start from the bottom and build up. And I'm like, well, you're coming in where we're coasting. Like
we're
already
established.
Like we did the hard part for you. Like you don't understand. Like
yeah.
Like when we had kids, if I didn't work, I didn't eat. Like I was a grill cook at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like you don't want that part. Like you don't no one wants that part.
That's a great point.
So it's like that part sucks. Like realistically, we most likely only stayed together because me and my wife at that point, because like we worked the complete opposite schedule. Yeah. So she worked mornings, I worked nights. Yeah. But then I realized it's been like that for 10 years.
Right.
So it's like we didn't have to fight because we weren't together. It was like I have the kids in the morning, you have the kids at night, and we just did that for 10 years. So I was like, you don't want that fight. You don't want not seeing your partner, only spending time with your kids, and like that kind of sucks.
You and your wife you went through the hard knocks, and then somebody gets to come in and benefit from the $400 Valentine's Day dinner, and she's kind of complaining about it.
Yeah. No, my wife ended up, her sister, the girlfriend's sister came to town. My wife ended up hanging out with her sister, and me and her went to like a different restaurant.
Yeah. Do any of y'all's family knew about it?
My wife's mom found out about it because she's like, this is weird. She's like, something's weird. She's like, y'all aren't just letting this girl live in your house for free.
And what was that?
My wife ended up telling her, and like, it's just her family was like super religious. Like, yeah, that wasn't fun.
So like, how is that relationship now? Like when you see her mom, is she like?
No, her mom died.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you did say that. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No, but I mean, it's the thing. People only think about the sex part. That's it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're just in there and having orgies all the time. It's like, no. Like that got to a point that like a threesome may happen like once a month.
Yeah.
Realistically.
So okay. I've asked you a couple of times. Would you ever seriously consider this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go, Sean. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I don't know. I've been sitting here really trying to wrap my head around why I'm against it.
Or maybe not move them in so fast, because she was moved in within like a month.
And see, that's where I think that, like you said, people are thinking about just the sex part. You are having 3 actually fully formed relationships, and relationships are hard, and all relationships get to a stage where you have to pivot and grow and like whatever. And so for the first couple weeks, months, whatever, it is honeymoon, I'm sure, with anyone.
Dude, it was awesome.
Where it's just lots of sex and dates and it's fun and whatever. But then eventually you get to a point where it's like, we need to kind of, figure this out. And it sounds like y'all didn't. Well, you and your wife did, but the girlfriend.
She has a new boyfriend now.
Yeah.
So.
Dang, do you think he knows? I know you probably don't know.
Oh, he does, because I used to work. We all used to work together.
Yo.
Is this vibe off? Well,
probably.
You don't know.
Well, actually, funny story. That's actually when she like officially moved out. Is I found his shirt in my basement.
She's like, bringing him to y'all's commune?
She was wearing it. Oh. Because I took her out for her birthday. Took her to like Myrtle Beach, like real nice vacation getaway, and then I think it was just a couple weeks after that when I found this shirt, because like with the brand is a big brand, and I was like, yo, like who rocks this? I knew like one of my boys at the gym rocks it, so I took the shirt. I was like, bro, like, be honest with me, is this your shirt? He's like, no, bro, like mine's a different color, mine's hanging up in my closet. I'll take a picture.
Oh, so you
lie?
When
I get home. No, this is a different dude.
Oh,
and no, he was like, no, bro, like mine's in my closet. Like I swear, like. He went back to his apartment, took a picture of the shirt, sent it to me. I was like, oh, okay, like, my bad, bro. Like,
dang, bro.
Too much, yeah.
But then I'm sitting there, I'm scrolling Instagram, and I'm like, this dude.
That's the fucking shirt.
I went, because I'm petty, so I went to his ex, I actually called his ex-girlfriend or wife or whatever. I was like, yo, are you and homeboy still together? It's like, nah, we broke up. And I was like, hey, like, I found this shirt, and can you tell me if it's his or not? And she's like, bring it to me. So I went to her work with the shirt, and she took it. She went, this is his.
That's some shit I would do.
She smelled it, tossed it over her shoulder, and she was like, I'll tell her that his girlfriend's boyfriend gave her shirt back. Because I had just slept with her like 2 days ago. So I'm like, dog, like, yeah, and they're still together today. It honestly makes me mad, because this is a really weird reason. Like, I'm going to get fat shamed for this, but he's morbidly obese. And I'm like, so she went from like this like ultra healthy like thing to a 320 pound like.
I appreciate that you just called yourself a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is wild. And that's where I'm like, I would be potentially interested in something like this because of the benefits.
You ain't, you can't make that work.
I could not get into that kind of mess.
Yeah. And like I said, that was at the end.
That would send me into orbit.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I mean, again, I'm not hating her, you know. I couldn't do it. I don't even.
It was a lot. That was a crazy 2 years.
That mess, I don't know.
Like the ups are like up, but the downs are like dog.
Yeah. Because you're factoring in so many people's emotions, so many people's preferences, so many people's. I mean, that's just a lot.
At that point, I'd rather just be single, honestly. I think I'd rather be single. To be honest with you, and again, I'm gonna keep saying respectfully because I don't want to sound like I'm like, oh yeah, that's crazy, you know, whatever.
Oh no.
I respect anyone that's into it or whatever. But for me, I think I'd just rather be single because I'm not trying to deal with the emotions. I'm not trying to deal with that spending. I'm not trying to deal with, and I guess the insecure part for me actually would be that, well, you have feelings for this person too, and yeah, I just would like, on some like modern day, no, you're my person and I'm your person. If we're not each other's person and only person, then I'd rather let's just have an open relationship. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think I would do an open relationship before I could do a poly relationship. Yeah. I think because
I think that opens up more risk.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do any of it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying in general.
It's like one before the other. I would kind of be emotionally, I would arguably say, cut off if I were to ever walk down those. I would probably cheat. I would probably just be a terrible. Yeah. I'd probably be terrible. I'm not going to lie to you. I think. Because it's like, if I'm treating you like a queen, like, I'm treating you like a queen. I'm not treating other girls. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe. And that's why I've been sitting here thinking, am I stuck in this like modern or, you know, whatever mindset, or is it?
You think you could do the poly portion of having a wife and then having a side girlfriend, but not everybody being.
No, I wouldn't want to do that.
Oh, okay.
I don't want none of that. Me and Sam, or I'm just gonna be outside by myself.
Oh, that's really sweet.
No, I mean, I don't know. No, like I said, I would just probably just be like, I'll just go hook up with different girls. And, you know, back when I was single, I would have like relationships that we would go do things together and stuff like that. And I think I would rather just have that where it's like, all right, you got problems, all right, bye. Then we're about to have this blowout argument and your stuff is upstairs in my room. Yeah. I don't know. No, it's crazy though. I mean, like, I really, even though we knew we were gonna do this episode, like, I don't know. I guess I just really started thinking about it, and I'm like,
oh yeah, the dynamic's crazy.
I think I think I could do it.
All right. Well, y'all heard it here first.
I do. I think that it would be hard, and you just have to have everybody on the same page.
Right. Yeah. No,
but
100%.
I do think that like there's something to be said about like that dynamic of like almost sister wives.
I don't think you could do it, Kinley.
You don't?
Heck no. I mean, the little bit that I know about you, heck no.
I think if we were all on the same page, I don't like being cheated on when I don't know about it. But I think if I was being pseudo cheated on with someone who was also helping me with the laundry, like, I'd be down.
She's lying.
The amount of times, who was it? Like, what was it when the girlfriend? She was like, "You cheated on me with your wife," and I was like,
and you're just like, "That doesn't make any sense."
My wife. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah, when your man goes upstairs to do that quickie, and you find out, oh my god, I don't know much about you, but she is not handling that well. That is what I do know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I could be more open to it than you could, though.
Oh no, yeah, 100%. It's not even ever. I would never think about doing it again. If Sam came to me though, it was like, hey, let's do a poly relationship, I'd be like, all right, and then I would just cheat on her and break up with her.
All right, cut that. What?
Cut that.
Is there anything that you?
I wouldn't cheat on her.
Okay, is there anything that you wish you could say to your wife or the girlfriend? And you can obviously say whatever you want to your wife now, but is there anything that you like would do? I don't want to make you apologize if that's not how you feel. But is there anything that like you would do differently or say?
I think I've said, like, especially both of them anyway, like my apology portion.
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think I've done like so much apologizing to where I'm like, all right. And like
I've owned it. I'm done.
Because even like up to like even post breakup, she's moved in with her new boyfriend. Like, I assume they're good.
Yeah.
Like me and her, like we were still in communication for that next year, or not. they just celebrated their like 1 year anniversary. No, that's how I know this. But like, we were still in communication for like 8 months of that. Mm-hmm. So like, even like the amount of time she was like, but you did this and you did that, and that's when you'd be like, you slept with your IT guy.
Yeah.
Like you would go and drop your son off, and I would beat you home from work. Like you just didn't come back to the house.
Yeah.
And then you were just like, oh, I was sitting in my car.
Yeah.
I'm like, until 5 a.m. Like you were out doing shit.
Right.
Like no one sits in the car till 5 a.m. Like let's be real. So I was like, but at the same time, instead of like throwing that in her face, I'm like, yeah, you're right, I did do that.
Yeah. Took ownership of it.
Well, yeah, I took ownership because I know like she's not. Cause, I mean, she has taken some ownership for her portion. She's like, yeah, I know I did some like effed up stuff, and I'm just like, you were actually sleeping with guys at work, like you were sleeping with more people. Like I was sleeping with my wife, who you were also in a relationship with, like simultaneously.
Yeah, right.
Well,
damn,
that's crazy. Do you have any more questions, or is there anything else you like that people besides you said people just look at the sex? Is there anything that you're like people should know about this
or consider before getting into it?
No, like boundaries get established like immediately, and it's not like and don't just like if someone has an ulterior motive, then just back out now. Like if you're like my goal is to pull this person and have them to myself, just stop. Like don't do it.
All right.
I just like thank you for being super open about it.
Yeah, it's fire.
Because like it started off like of course it was a secret for a while, and then obviously like people that were close to me found out, and now I'm just like, oh yeah, like I've dated 2 girls at once, and we all like lived together, and we had like a life together, and like
that's fire.
And,
well, I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you.
It's good seeing you. I didn't see you in a minute.
Yeah, no.
Bro, I don't know the last time I seen you.
For real.
It was at West End.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you and know all the intricate, intimate details of your life in the same like hour.
It sounds like you'll be meeting his wife soon. I'm just kidding.
At Sean's wife, hit me up.
All right. Thank you guys for
probably will.
Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you again, Sean, and we'll see you guys next episode.
Absolutely.